All right, welcome everybody. If you're new with us, my name is Brittany Hayes. I'm your ambassador Diamond Upline. I'm super excited about tonight. I know that August has already gotten started to, just such an incredible start. Michaela, got to give you a shout out. You're absolutely on fire per usual with distributors. And I know that everyone is dying to have you on a Zoom again this month. So you and I will have to schedule that. You've been absolutely killing it. And I know so many of you guys have just been killing it with host to post, and I've seen all your LC shout outs. Every time one of you guys shouts something out and reads a tip, shares a tip, I always read it. And I just want you guys to know I'm so proud of you guys. And I know August is going to be such an incredible month for our team. And one thing I wanted to share with you guys kind of just before we really get going full fledged, I was talking to Michaela earlier and we were talking about this, but I was talking to Carla. I was at her house, Carla Burns. She's an ambassador Diamond and It Works. She's been with It Works for, like 10, 12 years. And some of you might know her as Dr. Carla because she is one of It Works doctors on staff as well. Because of It Works, she was able to go to medical school and she's a holistic doctor. She's just a wealth of information, always pouring out so much wisdom and is very, very knowledgeable about our products, and does a lot of, tips from her page, associated with It Works and with the products and just how, you can best use them. So most of you who know her might know her more as Dr. Carla than as an ambassador in It Works, but she is both. But anyways, I was at her house a couple of weeks ago and we were talking, and she was saying that whenever there was this period of time when there, if you've been in the company for any amount of time, you've probably heard the term Black Diamond. If you are new and you haven't ever heard of Black Diamond, what Black Diamond means is that for 6 consecutive months, you earn $100,000 or more a month for 6 consecutive months. And if you do that, that's a status called Black Diamond, and the company gives you a $100,000 bonus on top of you earning $100,000 a month. They give you a $100,000 bonus and you earn the title Black Diamond. And once you're Black Diamond, you're Black Diamond for life. So you have to just do it 6 months in a row and you're considered an It Works Black Diamond. So in It Works, there has only ever been 3 Black Diamonds. We've got Joel and Stephanie Dunn, the #1 income earners. We've got Denise and Brandon Walsh. And then we have Cammie, who actually has stepped over to corporate now. Cammie was the first Black Diamond. As most of you probably know, she's Mark's daughter. She quit 3 times, had to re-sign up and pay to be a distributor 3 times. So if that doesn't show you anyone can do this business, like Cammie literally quit and had to get restarted, re-signed up 3 times, and is a Black Diamond. And she actually has also shared it took her 6 months to sign her first distributor. So again, just goes to show you it's not about how you start, it's about how you persist and the consistency that you're willing to keep and the lessons you're willing to learn. But that being said, Cammie was the 3rd Black Diamond, or she was the first of the 3, but you guys get what I'm saying. There's 3. But there's been a lot of people in the business who have had $100,000 checks. They just did do it 6 months in a row. Melody McFarland's one of them. Carla's one of them. And so that's kind of leading me into my story with Carla. There was quite a few of them that in that year when there was a lot of Black Diamonds popping, that they almost did it. Like they had 3 checks in a row that were $100,000. And then the 4th one was 92, or one person had 5 checks in a row that were $100,000. And then the 6th one that it would have made them Black Diamond was 99,000. Like crazy, crazy stories. So it's like, yeah, you didn't go Black Diamond, but you still had an incredible year, So Carla was sharing with me about that year. And she was saying that leading up to that year was one of the hardest years. She actually said it was a hard 2 years, but the year before especially was one of the hardest years any of them had ever seen in the business. She said tons of people quit. Tons of people, thought the grass was greener on the other side and left to go to another company. And then they ended up coming back because they realized it wasn't, and realized there was no place like home. And she said, those of them that had, some success in the business and definitely had good years, maybe not Black Diamond years, but good years, were in this valley, and there was just so much struggle, and so many people were just confused. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I feel like I'm doing what I know to do, and I'm just not seeing success I've had before. Or I'm not seeing the success I would like to have, or whatever. And she said, then out of nowhere, like those who kept persisting, it was like an explosion. It was boom, like one of the best years they've ever had. And she was, telling me all this, and she said, we kind of experienced the same thing a couple years ago. She goes, I know when you and a bunch of others went presidential and went ambassador, the end of 2018 and beginning of 2019, like y'all saw some of that. And I was like, yeah, I had a $52,000 check as a presidential diamond. And she's like, exactly. Like, that's like triple or quadruple or 5 times the average for a presidential diamond. But like, that was normal then. And she said, but what happened leading up to that? I was like, oh, it was such a hard year. I was like, I went triple the summer of 2017 and it was all downhill from there. I was in like such a valley. I lost rank and the rest of 2017 was a struggle and all of 2018 was a struggle. And then boom, November 2018 went presidential diamond. First presidential diamond check was like 40 something thousand. A couple months later had that $52,000 check, then went ambassador, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The rest was history. And I know anyone that's on here that was on the team, you know, in that run from presidential to ambassador for Fire Tribe, like you guys know, it was crazy. It was like every single month we had like 20 new diamonds, like, you know, 5 new double diamonds, a new triple diamond. It was just literally crazy. And that was our normal. And we were just so on fire and that was normal. And it's funny because even having walked through what I walked through before that, even I now like going through a really tough year of last year personally wise, and then, you know, refinding, you know, my groove and everything, and, you know, learning to retell my story in a completely different way after so much life and after divorce and everything. You know, even this year I've had moments where I've been like, what is wrong with me? And it was just crazy. Like after talking to Carla, I realized like, you know, it's no different than the struggle that we went through leading up to that. And it was just so refreshing hearing her say like, hey, like the year that we all had $100,000 checks multiple times, like leading up to that was the worst time we've ever had in the business. And she's like, that is exactly the trend we're seeing right now. She's like, I literally couldn't say it any other way than like what we're seeing right now is exactly what we saw then. So like the best thing any of you guys can do is stay the course. She's like, keep going. She's like, stay focused, keep your eye on the prize. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we're actually in Carla's downline. Carla's actually one of our uplines. So it's pretty cool. But anyways, but she was saying, you know, your team is doing so well, your team's doing so amazing. Like keep your eye on the prize, keep your like play the long game. Always be looking at, you know, futuristically, like what is ahead, what is the big picture. Not getting caught up on like the things that are so short term and you're not even going to think about that, aren't, you know, they're not going to matter to you whenever you're on the other side. And it's crazy because I got to thinking when she said that, I was like, you know, when I had that huge boom after going presidential diamond, I wasn't thinking about how hard 2017 was. Like all I was thinking about is like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like our teams worked so hard for this. Our teams prayed for this. And so I wanted to share that with you, share that the tidbits of that conversation with you guys, because I know so many of you guys, you know, that's going to speak to you guys. And that's just so relatable right now. You know, if you found yourself, you know, plowing the field and doing everything that you know to do, but you're like, man, I just feel like I'm just not quite there yet. Like, remember that, remember what that road leads to, because there's always so much more on the other side when we remain faithful. And I truly believe that 2021, this last quarter, we're not in the last quarter yet, but you guys know what I mean. As we, you know, near the last quarter, I truly believe we're going to see such an explosion, such a boom, that you're going to make up for lost time, where you're going to see that last quarter hold more fruit for you than you maybe saw for the entire first 3 quarters. That is 100% what I saw in 2018. And I 100% agree with what Carla's saying. That is exactly what we're seeing now. And just because I'm a nerd and I'm a numbers person, I want to share this with you guys, because I know some of you guys, you like just hearing the story, but then some of you guys, you want the facts, you want the numbers. And so because that's me, I'm going to share that for like the 3 people that care about that. But in the beginning of 2018, I was paid as double diamond. So I was triple diamond lifetime rank, but I had lost triple diamond, was being paid as double diamond, had some of the lowest checks I'd ever had. I'd have to go back in commissions and look, but I want to say at one point my check was like, I don't know, like had dropped from like a $20,000 triple diamond check the last summer to like $6,000 or $7,000 or something like that. Combined with my other account that I had. And literally at the end of 2018, almost hit 50,000. The first month of 2019 hit 52,000. And so if that doesn't show you, if you can go from 6,000 to 50,000 in the exact same year, if that doesn't show you what's possible, I don't know what does. Maybe you're at 2,000 right now and you're like, I just want to get to 10,000. Okay, well, if a 6 to 50 is a reasonable jump in one year, then 2 to 10 surely is. If you see what I'm saying? It's like literally so often I think we think we're so much further away when we're really not. Like really we are one good solid month and then keeping the momentum going the next month away from whatever that goal is. And so I want you to write down in your affirmations. Hopefully all of you guys do affirmations. If you don't, start doing them. Even if you just write 5 things down, like start small, whatever you got to do. I personally prefer a spiral and I just fill the page up. And when I first started affirmations, I did every other line. And then I started thinking of so many things I wanted to say that then I just started filling every line like single space instead of double space. And then I started flipping it over and doing the back. So start with whatever you got to start with. And I promise you, your brain's going to think of more things you want to proclaim and you want to say, and you'll start filling it out there. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear my 5-year-old screaming. His brother's doing something to annoy him in the other room. But mom life, who can relate? But anyways, all that being said, so start with your affirmations and start writing whatever that income goal is. When I was going presidential diamond, I would write, this is not in this particular order. I actually wrote my spiritual affirmations first and then I got into my business affirmations, but I would write, I'm redeemed for this. I'm a daughter of the one true king. I'm presidential diamond. I earned $50,000 plus, and I put the plus because Pam told me to put a plus. Pam's like, don't cap yourself off at a number, write your income goal and then write a plus because you're willing to receive and accept more. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, I'll do that. So I earned $50,000 plus a month. I'm a, fearless leader to my team. I am relentless. I'm persistent. I'm consistent. I'm relentless. I'm persistent. I'm consistent. It's a tongue twister. I just would write anything that was on my heart. And, most of the affirmations, I would say 90% of them were the same every day. But then it's funny, like certain days, something would be laid or impressed upon my heart and it'd be like unique. Like I hadn't said that the last 5 days, but I just was like, you know what? Like, I feel like this is something else God's telling me I need to accept. I'd write, I'm worthy, I'm loved, I'm valued, I'm respected. Anything that comes to your mind, you can write. I think especially like if there's something that maybe you've been told your whole life you're not, like start writing your affirmations that you are. Like maybe or maybe it's not something you've been told directly. Like maybe you just don't believe that you're good enough to make that kind of income. Maybe you don't believe that you're capable. Start writing, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm deserving. Whatever it is, like the best way to repair a negative belief that we have instilled, within ourselves over the years, maybe since childhood from some type of trauma, whatever, you name it. And it could be just something that subconsciously got sewn into you as a child. Like sometimes it's not even anything that anyone intentionally did. It could be maybe your parents had a negative belief about money. Maybe your parents, anytime you asked for something, they were like, hey, money doesn't grow on trees. Like you need to be grateful for what you have. And they meant well, but in your mind, you were like, okay, like I don't ever need anything. Like money's bad. Like I'm good. Like like so often it can be something like that no one meant anything negative from, but nonetheless, like something negative happened, like a negative result did come from it. And so it's our job, things like that happen to us. It's not our fault, but it is our job to fix it. I can't remember the quote, but there's that quote that says, it's like your trauma isn't your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. I think that's what it is. I'm probably not saying it perfectly, but you guys get the gist. And it is so true. Like if we realize there's a negative limiting belief that's holding us back from doing our very, very best, it's our job to fix it. And one of the best ways that I know to fix it, and I'm sure there's better ways out there, but one of the best free ways you can fix it is affirmations. Because I'm telling you, it gets really, really hard for your brain to believe something negative every single day when you're writing the positive every single day, because eventually like you're writing this repetition, you're writing it, you're saying it, you're reading it, you start believing it. And so I want to encourage you, like thinks like if you haven't been writing affirmations, number one, start. And if you don't know what to write, think about some of the brainstorming things we've had. Like think about like, what are some beliefs that I have that are holding me back, and start writing the contrary, the positive. Write your goals out, write your rank goal out, write your income goal out. Don't forget the plus side. I don't think it's any coincidence that my highest check was 52,000. Pam said, write the plus sign, and my goal was 50. So I wrote 50 plus, and what did I get? 52,000. And so write that. But especially those of you who are already writing affirmations, I want to encourage you, like expand on it. Like if you're writing 20, like think of 5 more and really dig deep with yourself tonight and get vulnerable with yourself and ask yourself like, okay, like I maybe have worked on these things and these things and these things, but what else could I work on? Like what else is maybe holding me back in the deep, dark recesses of my mind that I don't even realize? Spend some time praying and ask God to reveal that to you. One thing I want to share with you guys, just being vulnerable and being transparent. I've been in Knitworks for 5 years. My 5-year anniversary was this June. And throughout that time, I've done so much self development. They used to call me the book queen in the top leader page because of how many books I read. I read 70 books last year, I think like 62 the year before, and like 27 the year before. Definitely have worked really, really hard since I started the business in 2016 to repair any limiting belief, to like, overcome any insecurity, maybe like something my family, made fun of me for, or whatever. Like, I worked really hard to overcome that. One thing I worked really hard on was to not care what people thought about me and to just be me authentically, to be transparent, to not be afraid to be vulnerable, things like that. And there was a lot of things that I can tell you with complete confidence I worked on and I overcame. And it got to a point where, not that I ever thought, oh, I don't have any more growth to do, because you can always be growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. It's one or the other. There's no such thing as is just like, oh, I'm going to remain still for a little bit. If you're doing that, you're going backwards. And so I've always known, like, if you're not growing, you're dying. Like, we always have growth to do. But the big obvious things that I had known when I started the business I needed to work on, and that were revealed to me those first couple of years, I knew I had worked on. I knew I had overcome. I knew I had become someone that people looked up to, and they wanted to not be insecure about those things. They wanted to not care what people thought. And I felt confident in being able to help people come on the other side and experience that freedom, experience that confidence. And it's crazy. It wasn't until, just everything I went through last year, going through a divorce, and, just kind of rediscovering myself in completely different ways this year. Um, it wasn't until that I really realized a couple other things deep, 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 way deeper than those types of things, like way deeper than like caring what someone thinks about you, that I needed to work on. And it's been honestly just, I would say, my biggest year of growth, but in complete private. And it's so surreal for me, because all the other things I worked on, I felt like I did in public and people could see and they could be like, wow, you're amazing. You're inspiring me so much. And it was really easy to think like, oh wow, I have all these things together. Like, I'm good. I might have a few other minor things to work on, but most of these things I worked on. But then it wasn't until, stepping back and really like being just by myself for a little bit, where I was like, there's some other things like I haven't resolved. Like, there's things that I didn't really realize from forever ago that still are holding me back, that are still holding me back. And I know I'm rambling, so I'll try to wrap this up short. But all that to say, when I kind of had this revelation in the middle of this year, I just stopped and I just asked God. I was like, God, like, there's clearly a couple of things that bother me that I didn't even know bothered me. There's clearly a couple of things that are like in my head and holding me back from being who you want me to be, from, doing my very best, that I didn't realize until now. Like, help bring all this out to the surface, like dig everything up so I can work on these things, because I truly believe that, the resilience I learned in the business up until now will serve me now, but these are things that are more important to work on in the shadows than anything else. And I'm sharing that with you to say, I think so often, if we feel like we're in a place where we're being uprooted in any way, or we feel like we're in a place where, maybe you've had a lot of people on your team quit, and maybe you're just kind of like, do I really have value to add anymore? Can I really do this? Like, what am I doing wrong? What's happening right now? So often, there might just be one, two, three lessons we need to learn that are really private and intimate to us, but are something that if we'll just lean in and do it, we'll be able to help people on a greater level than we've ever been able to help them. We'll be able to be a better leader than we've ever been able to be. We'll be able to make waves and, make things happen that we would have never been able to do if we didn't just lean into that tough moment. And so I wanted to share that with you. It was laid on my heart to share that with you guys. And I just wanted to share that with you guys as we, again, enter August, enter a new school year, and, get closer to that last quarter of this year, get closer to the holidays, get closer to that fresh start of a new year. Because I truly believe that in that season and that space, like, there are so many beautiful things that will blossom if we'll just simply allow it. And so, maybe this only spoke to 3 people, and if that's fine, and the rest of you are like, I think I'm good. Like, I just need to enroll more distributors and I'll be fine. I just need to do a couple more hosts of posts and I'm good. I feel fantastic. But maybe there's a couple of you that you feel like you're in a place where you're like, just one small thing's missing. I don't know what, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something I need to do, and I don't know what it is. I want to encourage you to spend some time tonight and just ask God, like, God, whatever's inside of me that needs to come out, whatever is, something that is deep within me holding me back, like, help me uproot it, help me dig it up so I can, heal it once and for all. And I can be, that light to other people in a whole new way. And so anyways, I'm going to end on that note because I don't want to keep rambling more. But I just wanted to get on here and share that with you guys. I love you guys so, so much. And I'm so, so proud of how persistent everyone has been. I know that our team has been through so, so much this year. And I know that, you know, from a world standpoint, it's been a crazy almost 2 years, right? It's been, I guess, a crazy 18 months, however long it's been. And our team has gone through that so gracefully, and we've been such a light on social media, and we've, you know, done our best and added value and served and done so many incredible things in a season when a lot of people just felt in shambles and didn't even know left from right. And so just being proud of you guys from that standpoint is one thing, but then seeing, you know, the heart and the persistence and the grit that everyone has had through this year, when I know it hasn't been easy, I just couldn't be more proud of Fire Tribe as a team. I think that you guys are absolutely incredible. And I know that the best is ahead of us. And I just wanted to get on here and just say that I absolutely am here for anything that you guys need this year. I really do believe that we're going to see a boom here in the next few months. And we've got to be ready. We've got to be willing to receive that and willing to be in a place where our hands and our arms are wide open, and we're willing to be such a blessing to others, and, you know, willing to receive every good thing that comes to us, that our cup overflows. And we have nothing but a light that shines from us, nothing but, you know, a light and love to give to everyone around us. And so I want to encourage you, spend some time tonight asking God, like, what are some things I need to work on? Spend some time tonight brainstorming those affirmations and being real and raw with yourself, and start proclaiming it and believing it every single day, and watch the magic that happens. I'm going to be doing that with you guys. And I just can't even wait to see the difference that we're able to make, and the jump that our team's able to make this month and going into, you know, the end of the year. So I love you guys so much. I hope that you guys have a great night, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.